Welcome, welcome. This is Salon Jellin and I'm recording this little True News update from Nadgery Nation, Sandy Creek, in what the fraud system calls South Australia. I just wanted to give a little bit of a follow-up on where we're at with everything that happened with the police attack and my abduction and being held hostage in the Satanic State prison system for 22 days and 21 nights. And yeah, I still haven't been able to properly process it all myself. I'm still, a bit traumatized and shocked by it all, to be honest. And yeah, it's been massive because we haven't had a chance to have some peace and quiet to process. It's been, constant attacks since we got out. And yeah, our whole truth and freedom, People's Peace Alliance community has really been targeted and deliberately traumatized by the Satanic State to try and shut us down, because they don't want the truth to be known. They don't want people to be free to live in peace. They don't want people to have, a safe alternative to their Satanic State slave system. They want people to feel trapped and like what they call law is real, which is all lies. The legal system is a fraud. It's a fraud that is human trafficking, human and child trafficking and slavery. That's what that system is, controlled by the international banking cartel and, the Vatican. And none of it has any grounding in the truth of the real law, divine and natural law, which is all about protecting people and protecting people's freedom, our universal free will and our universal right to free speech. And that's what we talk about. And we've been speaking out for real child protection and calling out the state-run child trafficking that operates through the DCP. And that is the big business. While they keep everyone focused and distracted with this whole COVID fraud, and everyone's, giving all of their energy and attention to everything to do with these disgusting vaccine, the bioagent, the bioweapon. Everyone's over there dealing with that disaster that's unfolding. The children are being stolen at an alarming rate, because that's the real currency. That's the real business. So we talk about that, and that is why we've been targeted, and that is why Donna Markwell and Takara Markwell have been targeted, because Donna has been doing that same work, being, a whistleblower and an advocate and a real child protector who has been assisting as best she can other parents that have been targeted by the system, listening to them and supporting them and helping in whatever way she can. And the DCP actually told parents that were going to Donna and the CLC for assistance that they needed to stop going there for assistance, or it would damage their chances of getting their children back, which is actually just more of their lies, more of their manipulation, because the way that they operate is so abusive and so controlling. Once they've stolen people's children, they take these traumatized parents and tell them, you must be quiet, you must be silent, don't discuss the details of your matter publicly. They essentially gag the parents, and once they're dragged into the family or the youth court, the judges will often slap a gag order on the parents as well, again. So these predators that are all being paid to steal these children then shut the parents into this isolated cone of silence, where they are too fearful to tell the truth about what they're going through and what's really going on. So Donna has courageously gone on the public record to share all of the truth of what's going on and why. And that is why we were targeted. We were targeted because we're telling the truth about this. She was targeted because she's telling the truth about this. And we as a community need to remove that fear of speaking out and telling the truth, because it is the truth that sets us and all of our children free. So we need to give ourselves and each other the permission and the support and the encouragement to make it safe for us to tell the truth, and to know that anyone that would try and stop you from telling the truth is a criminal or an abuser. Abusers are criminals. There's no reason for anyone to be trying to silence anyone else unless the people are spreading malicious and false information. Those people should just be quiet. But people that are telling the truth, even if it's, confronting, need to be supported in telling that truth so that we can get to the heart of the real matters and resolve them. Because that's what real law is all about. Real law is about finding lawful remedy and solutions and actually helping and supporting and loving and protecting people. So that's what we've got to get back to. So just, in an update on, a little bit of an update on what happened to me, I was forced into getting a lawyer against my will. I didn't want to have a lawyer. I wanted to speak for myself, which the judge did not want to allow after they'd abducted me and they held me in the cage for 2 days at Elizabeth. They refused to let me speak to the judge because I'm a free woman and I don't wear a mask. That was the justification that they used for shipping me off to prison on remand, where they were holding me in isolation indefinitely, basically saying that unless or until I get a lawyer, I won't be allowed to have a bail hearing, and I would just be held into the new year. So I was blackmailed and coerced into having to accept a lawyer that I didn't want and that we can't afford. Like, we've been working in unpaid service of our community for years and, pretty much full time since this COVID fraud began. And yeah, it's killed, my husband's Thor Trailers business. We went on the public record right at the beginning of COVID and everyone turned on us. Nobody wanted to hear the truth. People were just like, oh, you're crazy. The government loves us. Well, look at what the government's doing to you now, people. Anyway, we have been in financial hardship already. So we couldn't afford lawyers, but we had to get a lawyer to be able to get out. And, a good friend and past coaching client of mine offered to put up the money in trust that had to be there for some lawyers that she has worked with to be able to represent us or represent me. And some other kind people organised a crowdfunding, which, a lot of you chipped in to support us through that. And we're very, very grateful. So I think that I don't know the exact figures for the crowdfunding, but I think it was about $3,600. And my son Kai was the treasurer on that. So I think that is closed down now, and all of that money that was chipped in towards that crowdfunding all went to the woman, my friend, who wants to remain anonymous, who actually put up the rest of the money. And all of that money, from the people that, love and support us, were working to help get me free, thank you so much, went to the lawyers. So the lawyers' invoices came to a total of $8,778.50. So that's essentially the ransom. That's the ransom. They abducted me, they held me hostage, they forced me to get a lawyer, and, almost $9,000 later, I'm out. But, that $9,000 could have gone towards buying a minibus so that we could have been helping our original people that are trapped in the city and the suburbs that want to be able to get back to country, back out onto their country. That's, you know, we could have had the money for that. But the Satanic State hijacked all the goodwill from our community and stole it. They stole it. And that's what they do over and over again. You see it, you know, not only through the court system extorting money out of people in their human trafficking racket, but through the DCP and the child trafficking racket. So, you know, not even when children are being fought over by their parents through the family court, that fighting for the children through the courts and having to have lawyers sucks the life out of the whole family, and everything just gets sucked up in all of these legal fees. And it really is so destructive, and it's got nothing to do with lawful remedy. You know, in truth, lawful remedy should be freely available to everyone. It shouldn't be an extortion racket. It shouldn't be like being able to get help to solve problems and resolve conflict should not be something that puts people into hardship, into further hardship, which is what this current legal system does. And that's, the legal system has got nothing to do with the real law of the land here in the Sovereign First Nations. That legal system is a fraud that came with the slave system, that came with the ships, and doesn't belong here. It's got no place here, which is what we're talking about with the People's Peace Alliance and People's Treaty. And you can get more information online at peoplestreaty.online and look that up. And, you know, that is where my faith is for us being able to work together as a collective of honestly informed living men and living women of this living First Nations sacred land to solve our problems together freely, solve our problems together freely under the real law of the land. And then we can dissolve all of this fraud and all of this fiction and actually be real world free to live in peace and have our world, you know, and our First Nations where we live be what we want them to be for our children, not having these corporations dictate. You know, we're living in this dictatorship at the moment where the powers that be just push out all of their fraudulent lies and fear porn through all of their media and are controlling everyone with their debt slave system. We, the people, together, when we're standing in the truth, have got the ability to dissolve all of that fraudulent debt. That is our absolute right. And, you know, the wise elders and lawmen and lawwomen know that they were living freely. They were free, genuinely free, before the slave system got here, and that is totally possible for us, that we can actually make being human free again and be a genuinely free humanity and have world peace. That's what the elders are holding for us when we're ready to start to listen, you know, to stop listening to all these lies of the liars and, you know, false prophets everywhere, everyone clamoring to, you know, be the new politician, or I don't know, all these people that want to put themselves on a pedestal and have a platform where they're telling other people, you know, what needs to happen. Well, no, we need to be listening to ourselves and each other and solving our own problems and really having a voice that is a unified, honestly informed voice of we the people, that we the people are the real governance. You know, we decide, we're self-determining, we get to decide. And that it's also our responsibility to hold ourselves and each other to account for doing what is right and honest and honourable. and not going along with lies and liars and policies that cause harm and loss. You know, if a corporate policy violates another human being's human right to free will or free speech, to being a free human, then that's a crime. You can't have corporate policies that force harm or loss on people. That's a criminal corporation if it's forcing harm and loss on people. So we just need to, you know, see things really clearly and simply. Is it true? You know, is it helpful? Or is it, you know, fraudulent, made up, twisted, distorted information that is violating people's right to peace and freedom? Okay, anyway, thank you for everyone that did chip in for the crowdfunding, and for everyone that helped to support Toby when I was in the cage, locked in the cage in isolation and not able to speak to my family. Just like they've cut Takara off from all communication with her family, 12 days today. And it is torture. Like, being blocked from all communication with your family is torture. So DCP are torturing Takara right now. And we as a community need to pull together and demand that she be returned to her mother immediately. And yeah, thanks for everyone that wrote character references and letters. I got some of your cards. Most didn't get through, but I did get some, and the ones that I did get were just so important to me and made such a huge, huge difference. They're like little bombs of light, you know, and kindness in a really, really dark place. So they like lit up my cage when you sent me your messages of love and support, and I was so grateful. So every little bit of kindness makes a huge ripple effect. So we just need to keep being kind to each other and keep helping each other as best we can, and know that every little bit of kindness and support has all gone, you know, it's everybody putting their little bits of goodness together that actually made it possible for me to be released, because that was not their intention. Their intention was to keep me in the cage and keep me quiet so that I couldn't speak up and help people to know the truth and find lawful remedy and be free. They don't want people to be free. So thank you to everyone that helped me. I love you all. Toby does too, and we're so grateful. And we want to keep that goodwill of our community unity focused now on supporting Donna and Takara and all the other people that are being targeted and victimised by this really draconian, inhumane, cruel system, both through the DCP and the prisons. And it's more than that. It's in the mental health sector. It's in aged, can't really call it care. It's not aged care. In the aged torture systems, disability, everywhere that people are being institutionalised in the hospitals, you know, and just managed like cattle. Like, we are not cattle. Human beings are not meant to be treated like slaves and numbers and just managed by system workers that are operating on inhumane corporate policy. That is not what, you know, not what our Creator wants for us. Our Creator created us as free living beings. And that's, you know, we're born free to be free. That's what's meant for us. And, you know, our Creator created the whole of our beautiful earth for it to be shared in and cared for by our free humanity. So only, you know, greedy criminals have put in place all of these systems of fraud to make their fraudulent claims to ownership and control over humanity and our earth. And none of that has any place here. And we, the people, together, when we, you know, stand in the truth and tell each other the truth, can dissolve all of that fraud and take everything back. Take back our planet, take back our humanity, take back our children, and take back our freedom and our peace, you know, that was always meant for us, and restore divine and natural law, and just live, you know, as brothers and sisters under the golden rule. Just come back to this really simple, basic humanity 101, where we just love and look after each other. And the more that we can do that, you know, the better it's going to get for everyone. The ripple effect of loving kindness and truth is going to have the power to just heal all of this trauma that we've all been stuck in and going through. And yeah, we're going to work together and make it all good. So thank you for those of you who have already been helping us with that. We really love you and we're so grateful. And we will, you know, continue to keep you updated, and we've got lots of people to help. So if you have, you know, time and energy or money or whatever it is that you can contribute and want to help, please reach out and we can, you know, work together, find ways to collaborate to help everyone that's in need and make sure that we're all looked after now, especially the kids. Okay. Go Team Humanity.